It's a beautiful day today and we're going to read some stuff that definitely is not beautiful. We're once again going to read some very concerning Reddit stories and I'm so excited and I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe if you want to, and let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Am I the a-hole for ending my relationship after my girlfriend said no to marriage? I, 41 male, have been dating my ex-girlfriend, 39 female, for nearly 6 years. Our relationship was a good one. 4 years ago, I informed her family and friends that I was going to propose to her while on a family vacation, and I received their blessing and well wishes. The night I proposed, I tried to make the night as memorable and perfect as possible. I asked her after a nice dinner surrounded by the family, and she said, no, not yet anyway. I was quite hurt, honestly, and I went back to our room to think about things and not overreact. A few hours after that, she came to the room and asked me what was wrong and why I left the group. We had a fairly long conversation as to my feelings and her reason to deny my proposal. Turns out she didn't think that I was ready for the commitment just yet, so I took her thoughts to heart and I informed her I understand her reasoning. However, I was raised in a way where you take a no for a no, not a maybe next time. She asked me to wait a bit longer until we were in a stable place, and I agreed. About 8 to 10 months after that, she started dropping hints that she was ready to be married. I can't wait for our wedding, she'd say. Our wedding is going to be spectacular. I'm so looking forward to my dad walking me down the aisle. So a little over a year since my first proposal, I decided to propose again. This time just us together after a wonderful date night. When I opened the ring box, she got really quiet and once again said, no, not yet, maybe a little more down the line. After this second refusal, I fell out of love with her. It sounds cold, but it's the truth. When we got home, I slept in our guest bedroom and I spent the rest of the night thinking of our relationship. The next morning, she asked why I didn't sleep with her in our bedroom, and I told her the truth. And I informed her that I think we need to end the relationship. I informed her that I take marriage very serious and I do not want to be led on. And this time, this no was the final no on the subject. I gave her a month to find a new place to live. And since then, I've been receiving texts and emails from her friends and family informing me that I'm a heartless bastard and trying to get me to give her more time and not to be a callous a-hole. My friends have my back on this and they understand why I ended the relationship. Am I the a-hole? Edit, I've got the time mixed up in reverse. I proposed after 4 years the first time. I apologize for the confusion. Oh, that's a sad one. No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. I feel like that's completely reasonable for you to feel the way that you do feel, OP. The top comment says, not the a-hole. She was stringing you along and being clearly disrespectful. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself and seeing her for what she's actually doing. OP said, honestly, I'm upset at myself for not taking the first no as a not yet. I'm still just getting used to this empty house. Oh, that's so sad. I feel for you, OP. The comment below that one says, don't beat yourself up too bad for that. It's okay that somebody isn't ready for marriage. However, at 7 years and in your 40s, with the second, it's obvious that you both want different things. Yeah, like this comment says, no, she said that you needed more time? Please. She's the one with cold feet. 6 years is enough time to know. You're not it and she's been wasting your time. I feel like you should have broken up after the first proposal. She's just unhappy with the consequences of being broken up with. Yeah, you're not the a-hole, OP. What were you meant to do? And the friends and family calling you a heartless bastard? Get out of here with that. And saying to not be a callous a-hole. They're acting like this is easy for you, OP. And that's so messed up. Okay, the next one is an update to that lasagna post yesterday. That was so wild. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. Update. Am I the a-hole for walking out of dinner after my boyfriend humiliated me in front of his family over my cooking? First of all, I want to thank everybody for your comments and support. I was not expecting such a huge response, and I was really overwhelmed by how many of you took the time to share your thoughts. I've been reading everything, and I do appreciate all the advice. So here's the update. After dinner, things were awkward between me and my boyfriend for a few days. We barely talked, but I knew I could not let it go. I sat him down, and I told him how much his comment about my cooking, especially comparing it to his mum's, hurt me. I love cooking, and I put a lot of effort into it, so hearing him constantly bring up his mum's lasagna felt like he was saying mine was not good enough. Didn't he actually say that it wasn't good enough? Well, like pretty much anyway. He seemed genuinely surprised and said that he didn't realize how much it bothered me. He thought that he was just teasing and that I knew that he wasn't serious. I explained that while I can take jokes, this felt different because it was in front of his family and it made me feel really small. He apologized right away and said that he'd stop making those comparisons. I could tell that he was truly sorry, which did make me feel better. As for the family, I did apologize for walking out and they were actually really understanding. His mum even mentioned that she'd love to try my lasagna sometime without any comparisons, which was really kind of her. You shouldn't have apologized to the family, OP. They should be apologizing to you. Things have been better since. My boyfriend has been more thoughtful about how he talks about my cooking, and I feel like we both have learned something from this. It's not perfect, but I feel hopeful about where things are going. Thank you all again for the support and the advice. It gave me the confidence to speak up, and I am so grateful for that. Right, okay, well that's good, I suppose. I don't believe believe him for a second though. Like, I don't feel like he's that sorry at all, OP. Maybe he is, but you can't just fix something like that by being like, oh, I'm sorry. The top comment says, I still don't like his initial reaction when you made your feelings known, and I don't accept his excuse that he thought you knew that he wasn't being serious. The things that he was saying, lying about you burning the sauce and all of it, were just objectively mean and nobody's idea of a joke. I'm glad that you feel better about it, but if it were me, I'd take a wait and see sort of approach. Yeah, I've got no doubt in the world that he's gonna act like that again. I don't think that's being pessimistic or something either. The second top comment says, he seemed genuinely surprised and said that he didn't realize how much it bothered me. Even after you walked out of dinner and he had to come find you upset in the car after he accused you of ruining the night because of how noticeably upset you were to everybody, he didn't realize that you were bothered? That doesn't make any sense. Please think about that. I'm all for the rare happy ending on Reddit, but what he's saying simply doesn't make any sense. He's had a few days to compose the reaction that he knows that you want to get himself out of hot water, and you're eating it up. The comment below that says, I'll await the next update when he does it again. Yeah, I don't want to be negative, but I don't feel like that sort of behavior just disappears that fast. And it wasn't a joke, and it was barely teasing, and he clearly wasn't joking about anything. He was being straight up cruel. And also, the family didn't even deserve an apology. They were laughing as well, OP. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to be pessimistic. I just don't believe him. This comment says, you shouldn't have apologized to the family. You're being handled. Yeah, like this comment says, I hope it works out, but you should not be surprised if he does this. It was just a joke, bro. Bull. In other areas of your relationship, it's a lazy way for him to avoid accountability for crappy behavior. Yeah, I really hope that things do get better, OP. And if they do, that's amazing. But if he does this sort of stuff again, don't tolerate it. I'm just not convinced that he's all of a sudden like a wonderful partner now. I don't feel like it's that easy. But yeah, once again, all the best, and maybe he will learn from it. But yeah, don't put up with it if it happens again in the future, OP. Am I the gay hot for suing my cousin for $6,000 to pay for my hearing aids after he threw me in the pool? My family's all on my cousin's side for this issue, and I wanted some outside judgment. My cousin, 25 male, has always been the golden child of our generation. He's funny, good looking, and outgoing, not to mention a boy amongst girls. He's always loved to mess around and play pranks. For the record, I really dislike this cousin. I think he's irresponsible, childish, and annoying. For years I've had issues with my hearing, and I recently got a $6,000 pair of hearing aids. Recently at my grandmother's birthday party, we were all eating and drinking on the back porch. My grandmother has a pool. My cousin decided that he was going to throw me in the pool because it'd be funny to ruin my hair on the day that I just got it done. I repeatedly told him to stop and put me down in a very serious and not playful at all tone. He threw me in the pool and my hearing aids were ruined. Afterwards, when I told him what happened, he pretty much said, whoops, didn't know you had hearing aids now. When I told him the cost of them and that he'd have to replace them, he freaked out and said no way. My family didn't want me to make him pay for them because I significantly out-earned him and also everybody else in the family. He was in college at the time, barely making ends meet in a call center job. His girlfriend and him have a baby and they live in a one-bedroom apartment. He refused to pay, so I took him to court. I won. He refused to make the payments after, so I took him back to court, and his wages are now being garnished for the maximum amount, which is 20% of his total wages. It pushed him over the edge of what he could afford, so he's had to work extra and drop out of college to be able to pay their rent. My family's absolutely fuming at me. I think he made one bad choice after the other, and he's never given a sincere apology during this whole ordeal. Had he gave a real apology after the incident and asked if he could wait until he finished school to pay me back, I would have been fine with it. But the entitled little prick is digging his feet in at every move. Am I the a-hole? The only reason that I can see me being the a-hole is because it's affecting his child and girlfriend. No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. Has he ever been held accountable for his actions? Like this comment says, he's the one who brought this on himself. You just made him accountable. And also this comment, not the a-hole, your cousin is responsible for his actions and the repercussions for his actions. He's 25. This shouldn't even be a question. Yeah, and also not to even apologize. That's wild. Like, maybe don't do stupid stuff like throwing people into pools. I don't even understand who finds that sort of stuff funny anyway. This comment says your family is why your cousin is the way that he is. Unapologetic, not the a-hole. Yeah, probably. Oh no, actions have consequences. Like, it was kind of an accident in the sense that he didn't realize that you had hearing aids in, but it's not that much of an accident. He threw you into a pool when you kept telling him not to. This comment says, I can tell just from how he's refusing to stop throwing you in that your cousin's one of those kids who still act like they're a teenager and everything is just a funny prank, even when people are evidently not enjoying it. Why the hell should you be out of pocket to the tune of $6,000 just because you earn more? He absolutely should be forced to pay for new hearing aids because his dumb actions ruined them, not the a-hole. This comment says, not the a-hole. He played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. Yeah, and like the comment below that says, but also won a brilliant life lesson. Don't mess with OP. And the rest of the cousin's family might verbally have his back, but financially, nothing but crickets. bits. Yeah, like it is pretty wild to read somebody is suing their cousin, but are you the a-hole here? I don't think so, OP. I wouldn't be surprised if you were the only person who's ever really held him accountable. The next one's called, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother's fiance wear her late mother's wedding dress at my wedding? So I, 28 female, am getting married in 2 months, and I've planned every detail down to the last flower petal. It's my dream wedding, and I've been saving and planning for years. Here's where things get tricky. My younger brother, 26 male, is engaged to his fiance Emma, 24 female, and she recently lost her mum in a tragic accident. Emma and I have always gotten along fine, but we're not super close. Anyway, her mum had a very beautiful, expensive wedding dress that Emma inherited, and it means a lot to her. A few days ago, Emma came to me in tears asking if she could wear her late mum's wedding dress at my wedding as a guest. I was shocked because it felt off. Like, I totally understand that she wants to honor her mum, but I feel like a wedding dress at somebody else's wedding is not the time or place. Yeah, it's definitely not the time or place, especially since she knows that I've got a very specific theme, color palette, and vibe for my day. I told her gently that I didn't think it was appropriate, and she started crying, saying that it was the only way that she felt her mum could be with her during a major family event. She said that she'd never get to see her mum at her own wedding, and wearing the dress felt like a way to keep that connection. I felt for it, but I held firm that my wedding wasn't the right time for that. Well, now my brother is furious with me, saying that I'm heartless and selfish, and a bunch of family members have started to take sides. Some say that Emma's request is deeply sentimental, and that I'm being too rigid about wedding rules, while others agree that it is weird for a guest to wear a wedding dress at somebody else's wedding. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and my brother says they're considering not coming to the wedding at all, unless I change my mind. My fiance is supportive of me, but I'm starting to feel guilty because I know this is tied to grief, and I don't want to be the bad guy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding? No, you're not the a-hole, OP, and the way that they're reacting is bad. It's completely fine for them to ask if they can do that, but if you say that it's not the time and the place and you're not comfortable, Emma and your brother should not be furious with you about this, OP. It's completely fine for you to say no. I don't really understand why it has to be at your wedding either. She can wear the wedding dress at her own wedding. I feel like that would make a lot more sense, but no, they don't have the right to force that onto you, OP. It doesn't even sound like he said anything rude. I really do feel for Emma though, that's super sad, but they don't have a place here to be getting upset at you, OP. Yeah, the top comment, I don't understand why she doesn't wear it to her own wedding. Why would she wear it as a guest to somebody else's wedding? The second top comment says, not the a-hole. That's crazy. She can wear it for her own damn wedding. The comment below that says, it's super inappropriate to overshadow the bride's big day like that. Yeah, it really is. Like, once again, my sympathies and my condolences, but you don't get to tell OP what they're gonna do at their own wedding. The brother sounds rude too. The comment below that says she can wear her mum's dress to her own wedding. The height of her trying to hijack your wedding and using her grief to steal the spotlight at your wedding. There's never a right time for anybody to wear a wedding dress to somebody else's wedding. Like, you want everybody talking about her mother's death at your wedding? It's also disgusting your brother's trying to rally family members and alluding to not attending major family event, and she's not family yet. They are so out of line. Like, it's really sad and so sorry for your loss, but yeah, the way they're acting is not okay. This comment says, disinvite them formally. She's an idiot. She wants to be the center of attention. You know that she'll still cry in the ceremony and make it about her. Let her ruin somebody else's wedding, not yours. Who the thinks it's okay to wear a wedding dress to somebody else's wedding? What a ridiculous request. Stand your ground. She's lost her mind, and your brother's an idiot. Do tell him that you won't forgive him for not showing up, but not to bring his crazy girlfriend with him. Yeah, that comment's definitely a bit harsher than what I would have said, but yeah, it's not okay. Nobody should wear a wedding dress at somebody else's wedding. Like, it's really sad how they said they want to have their mum with them, and they feel like that's the only way, but it's odd that she even wants to. Like, unless she really does want to be the center of attention, I don't understand why else she would even want to. This comment says, not the a-hole. This is really strange. I mean, it's your brother's future mother-in-law. Would she have even been invited to your wedding? Any event for your family is not the place to honor her family. Yeah, the whole thing is so odd. But yeah, stand your ground, OP. You're not the a-hole. Emma and your brother have got some apologizing to do. I don't feel like they will, but they should. Like, making you feel awful about this when you've done nothing wrong and trying to get the rest of the family to gang up against you. That's not okay. The next one's an update to a post that we read called, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that I don't know if I love her after finding out about her 5-year affair? I might play the original post just so it makes a little bit more sense. Such an unbelievable post. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that I don't know if I love her after finding out about her 5-year affair? Well, okay, that's one hell of a title. My sister 32 moved in with me because she got pregnant 5 months ago from what she claimed was a one-night stand. I love my sister, so of course I took her in. My husband is overseas for 6 months, so it was nice to have her around because I do care about her very much. On Monday, I came home and I saw my sister and a strange woman in a screaming match on my doorstep. I obviously didn't know what was happening, but I saw the woman poking my pregnant sister's shoulder, so I intervened. I sent my sister inside and she begged me to send the woman away. I didn't understand what was going on, but I wanted the altercation to end for everybody's sake, so I told the woman as much. Then she started screaming, asking me if I was also sleeping with her husband. I was like, what? And then she basically revealed that my sister had been having an affair with her husband for 5 years. 5 years. She had everything printed out, chats and photos and emails and receipts. It was so disturbing to see and I didn't want to go through it all, but a few things were established. Number 1, my sister knew about his wife. She knew that she was the mistress and liked it. Number 2, this woman was a stay-at-home mum to their 4 kids, one of which has a severe disability from a car accident. Also, her husband knew about my sister's pregnancy and even took her on a baby moon to celebrate it. Number 4, the affair had been going on the entire time, with my sister believing that he would eventually leave his wife for her. And number 5, my sister had fully embraced the role of being the other woman and was emotionally invested in their relationship despite his repeated lies about leaving his wife. I told the woman that I was really sorry and that I didn't know, but I asked her to leave because this wasn't going anywhere and I didn't want the neighbors to call the police. She was so furious, but she gave me her number on a post-it, begging me not to let her husband stay at my house. I assured her that no man was stepping foot in my home. My sister was begging me not to believe the woman, calling her a vindictive ex-wife. I told her, alright then, let's look up the marriage on the internet. Let's see if a motion for dissolution of marriage was ever submitted. We fought hard. My sister kept on saying that I'd never understand and that they loved each other and that he just couldn't leave his wife, blah blah blah. I called her dumb and also naive. The next day I told her that she could stay here because I didn't want her to become a financial burden on that woman in any way, but I also told her that right now I didn't want to engage with her. My sister asked me if I still loved her and I honestly told her, right now I can't say that I do. I'll always help my nephew and not endanger you, but I can't like you because you've shown me that you're not a trustworthy person. I told her that I didn't trust her not to try anything with my husband and that I didn't trust her with anything at all. So I made her sign a tenants agreement. She's been begging me to forgive her and I told her there's nothing to forgive. I just don't know who she is anymore. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. You've barely done anything. I feel so sorry for that wife. Like what? Are you the a-hole because you said that you don't trust your sister and you don't like her at the moment? No, I don't think so, OP. I feel like that's a very reasonable response. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Your sister's actions were incredibly hurtful and harmful. It's understandable that you need time to process this and decide whether you can rebuild trust with her. Yeah, 1,000,000%. It doesn't sound like you lashed out or said anything super out of line or something. You're having a very normal response, I feel like, OP. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. You're rightfully upset and your sister's actions have damaged your trust. It's okay to need time and distance to process. This comment says, not the a-hole. OP, not only was it crappy for her not to come clean to you after all you did, but she very easily could have been putting you in danger. You have no idea if this man or his wife may become unhinged. She already showed up at your house. Are you expecting him to visit? And OP said, literally, yeah. That was also what I said, and she said, oh, he would never do that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this one too, not the a-hole. Your sister's behavior was vile and inexcusable. That poor woman and her children. Her husband is an absolute piece of crap. OP also commented this. She met the kids and took them to the zoo with the bastard. She wanted them to get to know her so that she could hop right into the mum role as soon as he divorced his wife. Yeah, right. First, I'd like to clarify a few things. I'm not going to tell my sister to get rid of the baby. That's not my place and I'd never suggest such a thing. Also, I'm not going to install tracking software on her phone and demand access to all her devices. That's invasive and wrong. I've been thinking a lot, and while I can't say that I don't love my sister, it's very hard to feel that love right now. I don't know who she is anymore. It's not just that she lied to me, it's what she did and how convinced she is that she was justified because they were in love. She's brought chaos into my home that I opened up to her. I'm deeply disappointed in her and I just don't like her at the moment. I'm letting her stay with me because I don't want her to become dependent on him. I don't think he's a good man either. And as a social worker, I've seen these scenarios too many times. My sister is already deluded. I don't need to open the door to a dependency that's also financial. Now onto the update. I haven't been punishing my sister, but I've been treating her like a roommate. This is driving her crazy. She's begging me to go back to how things were before, but I can't. I told her I need time and things can't go back to normal overnight. She tried to explain how it all happened. She admitted that she knew he was always married, but believed that she could tell how unhappy he was and felt that he deserved to be happy. They met at a bar a few weeks after his son's accident. He told her that his wife wife hadn't touched him since it happened and that he was about to explode. I asked her why she'd involve herself with a married man, knowing the hurt it had caused. She said that she wanted to be a wife and a good mum, and that included his kids. She hoped he'd divorce his wife so that they could all move on and finally be happy together. I just stared at her, unable to comprehend how she could even rationalize her actions. A few days later, he appeared at our house claiming that he had left his wife and wanted to be with my sister. I told him to leave immediately or I'd call the police. My sister was furious with me, accusing me of ruining her chance at happiness. I made it clear to her if he ever comes over again, I'll evict her. She's free to date anybody who she wants to, but not under my roof. I also told her that if she plans to have him around after the baby's born, she'll need to find her own place. Word has gotten around our community about the affair. While grocery shopping, a woman even spat on my sister. Many of her friends have cut ties with her, calling her a homewrecker. Some are married themselves and don't want to need their husbands. I haven't said I told you so even once. We unexpectedly ran into his wife at a local cafe. My sister wanted to apologize and suggested that maybe they could all have a good relationship for the sake of the kids. The wife laughed coldly and said, "You made your choices, now live with them. Don't expect me to make this easier for you." My sister's devastated and has been lying in her bed ever since. I'm taking care of her physical needs, making sure that she eats and stays hydrated and attends her parental appointments, but I can't bring myself to comfort her emotionally. I just don't have it in me right now. Yeah, and fair enough as well, OP. Yeah, the top comment. They met at a bar a few weeks after his son's accident. He told her that his wife hadn't touched him since it happened and that he was about to explode. Yeah, wow, what a catch. Any parent will know the trauma of having to go with that horizontal mumbo after one of your kids has been seriously injured. Yeah, what the hell was that? The second top comment says, "You're not the a-hole for feeling hurt and setting boundaries. Your sister made her choices and now has to face the consequences." Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and also this one too. He appeared at our house claiming that he'd left his wife and wanted to be with my sister. Oh yeah, sure, he left his wife after 5 years. Coincidentally, at the moment that she discovered everything, I'm completely sure it's not the wife who dumped him. And OP said, "Yeah, I think the same. Yeah, all the best with it, OP." The next one says, "Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my foster parents after they treated me like a servant? I, 32 female, grew up in foster care, and after bouncing between homes, I ended up with a couple when I was about 12. At first, they seemed alright, but it didn't take long for me to realize that I wasn't really part of the family. From the day that I moved in, I was treated more like a live-in maid than a daughter. They'd make me do all the cleaning, cooking, laundry, you name it. I was the one who scrubbed the floors and cooked their dinners and washed their clothes, even had to iron them to their standards. They did not let me have a normal childhood. No after-school activities, no hanging out with friends, and forget dating. I was always told you're needed at home, like I was just there to serve them. If I didn't do a good enough job or if I missed something, they'd punish me by giving me more chores, or they'd sometimes take food away. Emotionally, they were cold. They never gave me advice, they never helped with school, and certainly never encouraged me to do better. When I wanted to apply for college, I had to figure it out all on my own. They didn't even help me with applications or support me in any way. I felt alone in that house, but I worked my ass off to get out. I was able to go to college and get a good job in marketing, and now I'm doing super well for myself. I've moved on and I tried to put it all behind me. A few weeks ago though, I got a call from my old foster parents. They're struggling now, apparently in debt, and they said they need financial help. Wow, the audacity. They expect me to take care of them because they raised me. I was so furious. I told them after the way they treated me, they've got no right to be asking for anything. I owe them nothing. They got super upset, calling me ungrateful, selfish, and saying that all the tough love they gave me made me who I am today. They're even telling my foster siblings, who they treated way better by the way, that I'm heartless because I'm abandoning them. And now my foster siblings are piling on, saying that I should help them out and that I'm holding on to the past too much. I don't know. I don't think I owe them anything, but maybe I am being too harsh. Am I the a-hole? No, of course you're not, OP, and you're not being too harsh. And also, you're not holding on to the past. Why the hell should you forget the way that they treated you? You shouldn't. You don't owe them anything, OP. The top comment says, "Sounds like they're still treating you like a servant, just asking for a different kind of help. You're not obligated to give anything, OP." And OP said, "Thank you. They still think I'm their servant, but they're wrong. Yeah, you don't even have to have any contact with them, OP." Oh, that's so infuriating. And how did they feel like that was okay to make you do all of that stuff growing up? So cold and so sad. This comment says, "Not the a-hole. I'd also let the fostering agency know what they did and what they're continuing to do. They shouldn't even be allowed to foster any more children." Yeah, that's right. You're so not the a-hole, OP. And I feel like that's enough for today. That was such an unbelievable episode. I hope you guys had a good time today, and let me know down below if you did. We need to read something wholesome before we go. When everybody's sleeping and you stop the microwave at 1 second. Yeah, how fun is that? An absolute victory. We did it again. That's so cute. My boyfriend, no, my fiance. Oh, congratulations, OP. That's so cute. That's so beautiful, and a beautiful place to end the episode. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today, And if you did, make sure you subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day today goes to Mage1439. Vincey, when you laugh like you do in the second story, it's clear that you're only laughing because it's the only thing keeping you sane. I don't blame you. These stories make me feel like I'm losing my mind too. Oh yeah, that's so right. Like they're so unbelievable. I don't even know what else to do. I'm in so much disbelief that I start laughing. Like, what are we even reading? I'm so happy that you feel the same. And let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? Thank you for the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!